Welcome back to In Your City Show. We have the legendary Joe Edwards. If anybody's been to the Delmar Loop, you've probably heard this man's name, met him, or seen him at a special event. He is extremely popular around St. Louis. He is a businessman, he's a developer, he's a civic leader who has helped revitalize the Delmar Loop. And it's just incredible what all you've done, and we've watched you over the years and been able to interview you from time to time on all your developments, and it's just it's incredible to see what your mind has created and revitalized, you know, St. Louis. We appreciate that. Could you just do all of St. Louis? And you know, they should change the name of the street, but it shouldn't be the Delmar Loop. It should just be the Joe Edwards Loop. One of these days.
Well, Edwardsville has already been named in Illinois, so anyway.
There you go. Well, thank you for being here with us today. And we have not got to personally flip through each page, but just seconds here, you know, before we started to do the show. And it looks incredible. You know, tell us a little bit about how and why you decided to do this book. I mean, I see St. Louis Walk of Fame, but it's not just that. To hear the number 250 years of great St. Louisians, if I said that correctly when I put the ins on the end of that. I mean, 250 years. That is a long time. Who didn't even think we, you know, feel like we, who was here that great 250 years ago?
It's amazing to find out the people that you had no idea had anything to do with St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I started the nonprofit St. Louis Walk of Fame in 1988, to instill pride with our own citizens and residents, and also just let the rest of the country know St. Louis has contributed as much or more on a national level to our cultural heritage. Maybe the old northeastern cities like Boston, Philly, and New York, but we've contributed more than Chicago, San Francisco, LA, Houston. So
seriously,
you know,
LA?
Oh yeah, I think so.
LA and Chicago, that's incredible.
LA's a new city.
Oh, okay, that's what it is then. So who is do you know just right off the top of your head, or who's so 250 years, who's the first one?
The first one was Chuck Berry, the first inductee, and because he is still known more around the world than any other St. Louisan. And he contributed so much to our culture, which is what the Walk of Fame is all about, you know, musically and all, and influenced all sorts of other musicians, whether it's the Rolling Stones or the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, all of those. So that's pretty great. And his star is right there across the street from the statue, his statue, which is people take photographs of that statue all the time with their kids, and they do the duck walk pose and everything.
Yeah.
But it's cool. St. Louis really is pretty remarkable. And when you look at this book, which, by the way, I give one book to every single high school and middle school library in the bi-state region, like 370 libraries now have this book so that their kids can research and be inspired and have great role models in all fields. There's so many fields of achievement recognized in this book. It makes a great present, but it also just makes a great history lesson of why we are a great city.
So tell me that we don't have someone that's going to make the Walk of Fame that is a YouTuber sensation.
We all come from a different time period, don't we?
The new stars are now YouTuber sensations or TikTok people. So we don't have that there. These are true Walk of Fame, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, the beautiful thing is, I like the Hollywood Walk of Fame and all, but it frustrated me when I would walk down it and see a name and not know was it a great film actress or a great director, or, you know, all that. And so it was important to me to spend a lot of time to try to research and digest a person's accomplishments into 10 lines and have them in the sidewalk. So there's the star with the person's name, but then there's a plaque, the informational, educational plaque right next to it, right underneath it. So you can learn something, everybody can learn something about that person right then and there. They can research later on if they want to, you know, be inspired and do that research, but that's amazing. And so other cities have approached me, and they've sent delegations here how did you do that? Why did you do that? Where did you get them made? And all that. And from other states like Michigan and Georgia, it's pretty neat. This St. Louis Walk of Fame is pretty much known around the country now.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you have a favorite that you've met, that you've done, put them on the Walk of Fame? Is there one that just stands out that was just a monumental moment?
Well, I think the funny induction speeches were given by people like Phyllis Diller and others that were just incredibly funny and raucous in their own ways. I mean, recently having the Spinks brothers and the Isley brothers, it's just, there's no one that is better than the rest. They're all darn good. That's why they're in the Walk of Fame.
Let me rephrase that question. Who has been the one that you've been in the most awe of and almost couldn't speak because you were in so much awe that you got to meet them?
Well, I always treat people like people, so I try not to get in that, deer in the headlights
sometimes it's got to be hard with certain people.
But it is. No, it is. I'm always honored when certain people show up and talk and give a speech and all. But they're all great. It's just amazing, and some are still like creating stuff. Like Cedric the Entertainer is still creating things like crazy on the Neighborhood show and other things. Nellie is still going crazy with all sorts of projects, and so yeah, no, I like them all.
Mm-hmm. Who is the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about this book, about how it's laid out and why it's laid out the way it is.
Well, the nice thing about the book is that everybody gets 2 pages. Each honoree gets 2 pages, or a page with both parts of their pages, I should say, with their photo portrait and then their plaque copy. And it's nice because their lives are condensed into 10 lines, which is really almost impossible to do, because they do so much more than those 10 lines. But so kids can be, thinking, oh gosh, I could be an actress like Virginia Mayo. I could be so-and-so, a writer. I could be like Bob Costas. And it gives them the joy of maybe, I'm going to go to school again tomorrow and keep going.
I love that.
So,
and you were talking about the table there, that some of the things that the book offers.
Yeah, there are quite a few tables that I have in the front, not just a map of where the stars are and some photos of old celebrations and all, and the years of election. But the list of inductees by years of birth are fun because you can look up and see if you were born on the same date as one of these great St. Louisans.
Yeah.
And, you might not be, but mine is June 20th, John Goodman's birthday. So he and I share the same birthday. So that's a fun.
Look up April 5th.
A fun thing. April 5th. Okay.
I wonder whose birthday that is by that, right?
I don't know. Well, let's see. By year of birth, by month and day of birth. So you said April 5th?
April 5th.
Okay, we'll see if anybody. No, April 4th was Maya Angelou. April 10th was Joe Pulitzer. So
no one was
you might
special
be the
enough
next.
for your
They're
day.
waiting for me.
They're waiting to induct you to the Hall of Fame. That's it. How long did...
My favorite table is by Fields of Achievement, because that's when it really wakes people up to how great we have had, our citizens have had on impacts around the world and all. Like by music, literature, sports, you can find all your favorite heroes in this. But wow, when you look at music, St. Louis, well, other cities have, like it's Memphis Soul, New Orleans Jazz, Chicago Blues. We have all those and more. We've never had that soundbite tag for St. Louis because we do that and
so
more,
much.
Gospel, everything else. So I think people will enjoy this and really realize, whoa.
You must have had a great time putting this book together. How long did it take for you to get this together? And what kind of team did you have to have?
Well, my daughter Hope and I put this together. I mean, the general part, through the years, but she did the design of the cover and the layout and everything, and the color coordinated things where it's like acting entertainment might be this color, and literature might be this color, just to make it easier. Every little touch. We spend so much time just making it so comfortable.
How much fun.
But it's an easy read. that's the beauty of it. You can sit here and read it for an hour before you go to sleep, and then put it back up, the next night. You don't have to read the whole thing, and it's so inspiring.
Oh, yeah, and I love the
think.
fact that you're making sure that our libraries and our kids are able to be able to see this and enjoy and learn from it, as well. It's so important for our youth to be excited about reading and to inspire them to want to be somebody, as they grow up. So I think it's incredible.
What a perfect Christmas gift for St. Louis.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
purchase. Yeah.
And how do you find out? I'm sure this is on Amazon. Where can we get these books?
You can buy them for presents and all at Subterranean Books,
Okay.
Blueberry Hill,
Okay.
Peacock Diner, a few other
Is there a
loop
website
places
on the
and all.
book for them to be able to find the book, to find out more about it, to order it from?
Yeah, stlouiswalkoffame.org.
Oh, okay.
In St. Louis, STLOUIS.
Okay.
Not spelled out SAI, but anyway, STLOUIS.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just come on down to the Delmar Loop and walk it and then buy it.
I agree.
You'll enjoy it more.
Yeah,
Take
get
in
to
the
experience it.
atmosphere, take in the experience. People don't do that anymore. They get on their phones, come down and experience the Delmar Loop
Right.
and the Walk of Fame.
Is there something new that we should know about that's happened just recently on the Delmar Loop that's open? Because you're always doing something.
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
I just opened Magic Mini Golf. I built a brand new building on
saw
a
that.
vacant lot across from the pageant and the Moonrise Hotel, and had the architectural parts fit in with the loop. So you'd think that building was there 100 years, but it's brand new. But inside, all weather protected, 18 holes of whimsical,
gosh.
magical mini golf holes, and 2 lanes of shuffleboard, full lanes, and a Ferris wheel, a 5-car Ferris wheel that I got from the Muni Opera and then restored it and put it in with all sorts of flashing lights that I've always, I love lights, and neon. And the sign, you can't miss it when you're driving down Delmar. It's 27 feet tall, and a neon animated sign with a
some
girl
bright
on one
neons
side, a
down
guy on the other side putting. And it won the best new sign in the world
Wow.
this year in 2023.
incredible.
That's fantastic. Does your mind is just creating all the time? Do you sleep?
Well, the best ideas come just before you go to sleep, I think. And then, oh, yeah, I can do that.
And then you just write it down. The Peacock, that's the diner that
Yeah,
we went to,
we ate
isn't
there
it?
right when it opened. Yep.
We love that, and that's colorful as well.
I love the nostalgic feel down there. It's just
Yeah.
what's so amazing about it.
Oh,
So speaking of nostalgia, our question of the day is, what childhood memory are you most fond of that you can remember that
you wanna
for
go- that you could go
Christmas
back
that you
to
could go
that?
back to and recreate?
Growing up, my grandparents on my mother's side had this huge Christmas tree. And on that Christmas tree, my grandmother put ornaments up representing every letter of the alphabet. And as young kids, she would give us little pads of paper and to check off like, oh, you could find everyone from zebra to antelope or whatever, and whoever got that done first, they didn't win any prize, but it was as cool as can be. And I've carried on that tradition in my own family and all. It's just, there's something magical about having an ornament representing every letter of the alphabet, and more than one, usually like X for xylophone. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
N is a tough letter. I mean, there's newspaper. I have a little thing of the newspaper, Post-Dispatch reprint that I put on there for N, but you'd think, oh, that'd be an easy word. That's an easy letter, but it's not. It's tough. But it's fun. It's just fun. And
That's fabulous.
it stimulates a child's imagination. And she
you've carried it
stimulated
on.
mine, and so I try to pass that on.
Yeah, well, you've passed on a lot of great
I was gonna
things.
say that, yeah.
And we really appreciate you coming by today. And what city do you reside in? You
Yes, I'm right on the border of St. Louis and the county, so right between U City and the city of St. Louis.
Fantastic.
And I've been there since 1975. And Blueberry Hill is right there, and then the other places are right. They're all bunched together.
Yeah.
And it's a great street.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it. Joe Edwards coming from the Delmar Loop, and we appreciate him sharing his book, St. Louis Walk of Fame, 250 years of great St. Louisians. How often do you say that word?
You almost want to say St. Louisianians, didn't you?
I know. I'm trying to make sure I didn't mess it up too much there. Thank you so much for spending
Thanks,
some
Joe.
time with us. Happy holidays. We look forward to coming down and trying out the new mini golf as well. Nancy
Great.
said it's fantastic, so we'll bring the kids with us.
Great, great, great.
Aw, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you both.
Joe Edwards, our hot list guest right here on In Your City Show.